Here we go. Good morning. What is going on, everybody? We are the Stylist from the break room. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Eddie.
This is going to be our last. No, we got 2 more weeks. All right, go to htbbeauty.com. There is a few chairs left. This is on its way to selling out. So June 16th, Downers Grove, the Doubletree Hotel. Get half your hours in one day. This is the renewal year. So if you need 7 more hours, htbbeauty.com, sign up for June 16th.
Yes. It's going to be a great day. A lot of fun. Last one was fantastic, and this one's going to be just as good. Just as good. I do have to comment, and I comment every week on our intro, but I just noticed all those video clips are from the past 15 years of shows and stuff that we've done, and you haven't changed a flippin' bit.
Like you have?
Oh yeah, I'm older and fatter. That one clip, my beard wasn't gray. Look at this. But you haven't changed. You look the same. That's a testament to your genetic makeup.
No, look, if you black out all the windows, you never go outside. Okay, this porcelain skin, it's like that's the secret elixir to life.
No, actually, I think it goes along with my theory that you're actually a vampire and you sleep in the soil of your native land.
And I drink baby's blood, right?
Yes, you do. So I guess how's it going, buddy? How you doing?
It's overwhelmed. There's a lot to do. No, we have so many things going on coming up, leading up to the show. There's so many good things that we have on the side in addition to the show. We have a whole round of new education that we're going to be rolling out for the summer coming up. It's just we never sit still. It's something that I notice every time I'm talking to somebody. They're like, "Oh, so what's you're talking to a client and you haven't seen them for about 6 weeks." They're like, "Oh, what's going on with you?" I'm like, "Oh, this, and this, and this." And she's like, "You always have something happening. You never just have the same old." I'm like, I wish. And then they'll say the most fantastic thing. Do they do this to you? They're like, "I wish I could be as busy as you." Do you ever tell them, like, "Do you want to trade?"
My clients say that to me all the time. They're always like, "How do you keep up this pace that you keep up?" And I'm like, it's funny, and it goes along with a discussion we had with an older hairdresser on Friday, Raymond from England, and I was thinking to myself, yeah, I don't stop, but I don't know any different, and neither do you. I know you don't know any different.
So is that why I don't have time to age? I'm too busy.
There you go. So along those lines of clients, what's been going on in the salon for you? How's the salon been?
No, the salon, look, the salon is nice. It's nice and steady. It's nice and busy. The thing about the salon is I always have a plan. Okay. I say this all the time, but I flirt with everybody. So by default, people starting to look forward to coming in to get their hair done. And I wasn't there was it the prior Saturday or was it not last Saturday. I was there last Saturday. One of the Saturdays I couldn't be there. I had to, it was the Saturday before our last show. I had to take that one off. The fast forward to now, this past Saturday, the client came in who her last appointment was back then in May. And she goes, "I missed you last time I was here. It was so quiet without you." I'm like, "All right, well, maybe that's a good thing." She goes, "No, I like it better when you're here. It's so loud when you're here. You get everybody riled up. You poke everybody, and then the next client comes in after her. And she's like, "Oh my God, you're here. Are you going to laugh for me today?" I'm like, "Am I going to what?" She goes, "I love your laugh. Your laugh is so distinct. I love your laugh." She goes, "Come on, laugh." I'm like, "I don't do it on cue. Who laughs on cue?"
Right.
What the hell?
Right. And like for me, like I was telling you, I wrapped my first perm in about 18 years last week. And the first couple of rollers, it was a little tough. And then all of a sudden the muscle memory took over.
Mm.
And I totally it all came back to me, and then the PTSD from all the perms we did in the 80s came back to me too. But it was cool. It was fun. I mean, it's not something I want to do every day, but I'm seeing more and more of old the services that we used to do coming back around, which is so funny in our industry how what's old becomes new again. I had a lady call me the other day and ask me, "Do I know how to do a cap frost?"
Oh, nice. Oh yeah.
Hey, I look, that's my era. No one could pull a cap. I mean, I was taught how to pull a cap correctly. Um, and the lady that trained me, man, any loops, she'd make you pull the cap off and do the whole thing over again.
Those were the days.
And she'd smack me if I wasn't at a 45-degree angle with the hook and everything. And I still have the old school latex cap, not the plastic bonnet ones where if you didn't poke it correctly, you'd just get bleeders everywhere.
Forget about bleeders, then the hook would get stuck in there too, and you couldn't get it back out.
That too. I think I have the old cap in here somewhere. Let's see. Hold on.
If you do that,
yeah, here it is. Wait.
Man, look at this nostalgia.
Look at this bad boy. Look all the thousands of dollars that I used to make with this cap. Anybody who's done this, does this bring back memories? I mean, look at this thing, man. I still have it. It's still in great shape. So I said, yeah, sure, come on in. I would love, it's fantastic. Hold on.
That's the thing. Like those things never die.
No. But good luck trying to find one of these.
No, I don't. Yeah, no, I don't think they make those no more.
But yeah, I love our business. I really do. I love the business that we're involved with. The best part about it is no day is like one day is not like the other. There's all kinds of shenanigans. And for me, it's the same thing. I took a couple of days off to do some stuff at the house. And everybody here is like, "Where were you? It was so quiet. We didn't hear you laughing and making stupid jokes with your clients or anything." And I'm like, so there we are. So now my question to you, my friend, is, do we have a quiz today?
Do we have a quiz? Yeah, we got a quiz. What do we got? Where am I? What is the term for the natural tone that appears when you lift virgin hair? Is it reflect, natural pigment, contributing pigment, or residual color?
Wow, that's a good one. I'm gonna go with contributing. No, I'm gonna go with contributing pigment.
No, wait, yes, no,
Yeah, no, maybe, yes, no. It's contributing pigment.
If you had your handy dandy book, you would.
You yelled at me the last time I took out the handy dandy book. It's sitting right there staring at me, and it wants to be part of this, but
you would have had the answer.
It's contributing pigment. I knew the answer, mister. But yeah. Plus, you've had enough of the handy dandy color book for our last class. So I threatened to put it on a chain and wear it like that rapper. What's his name? Flava Flav, that has the giant clock.
Oh, geez. Oh, man. It's a statement, all right. It's a style.
Come on, learn me something else.
What happens when you overlap lightener on previously lightened hair without bond protection? Does the hair lift faster? Does the toner last longer? Does porosity increase, risking breakage? Or does it turn red?
Yes.
Good answer.
Overlapping increases the porosity and you're risking breakage. But yes.
Now, do you have to have bond protection to overlap?
No.
Should you even be overlapping?
Define overlapping for me.
When you're lightening on previous, when you're lightening, when you're doing a highlight touch up, when you're highlighting somebody, are you supposed to highlight the new growth, or are you supposed to highlight the whole strand of hair that you pull?
Oh, the new growth, but you do have to kind of feather through where that line of demarcation is.
So then how do you handle that? If you're not going to, if you don't need bond protection, then what do you need?
Lightener control. Shameless all nutrient plug.
Is it okay?
Shameless all nutrient plug. And there's a lot of different, the problem is there's a lot of different theories about that, of how to do that. Where the lady that trained me back in the day, we didn't have these fun things, you know? So what it was is it was a lighter brush stroke through that line of demarcation. You did not go down the whole strand. Because then, depending on how you do your foils, if you make Christmas presents, you're kind of gonna, even if you walked up to that line of demarcation, once you press that foil and fold it up into your little Christmas present, you're gonna push past that line of demarcation anyway with your product. So yeah, yes.
Okay.
But there are different things that you can do. I've worked with people that have two bowls of lightener, the stronger one for the new growth, and then to feather through the line of demarcation, they use something with a little less volume peroxide. I've seen that too. See, I just put something into my lighteners all the time now, since I have the technology available to me and you and everybody else watching. Why would you risk? Why would you run the risk?
So then just use bond builder. Got it. Thanks. Okay.
No. Lightener control is not a bond builder, young man. But that's, you know what? If you want to learn more about lightener control, you need to come to our class on the 16th.
Whoa, you are just all about the plugs today.
Dude, I'm like a plug-in machine.
Really? All right, here's your next one.
Okay.
What is the main visual effect of using elevation in a haircut? Does it enhance color? Does it control texture? Does it remove weight and create shape? Or does it strengthen the cuticle?
Removes weight and creates shape.
Why is it important to cool hair fully around a round brush before removing it during a blowout? Is it to keep it from getting frizz? Is it to lock in the shape and volume? Is it to prevent future buildup? Or is it to allow the moisture to fully evaporate off the hair?
It is to lock in the shape of the curl, number one. And this is right in your wheelhouse. You preach this like there's no tomorrow. Yes, it is to lock in the shape and curl.
The number one reason why hairstyles fall apart is because they are not set properly. Unfortunately, the new generation of stylists don't have to go through the pain and suffering of doing roller sets as we did in our generation. And because they didn't go through roller sets, they do not understand heat, temperature, control, and the interaction of heat onto the hair. If you don't pre-warm your round brush before you put it into the hair section, you're already losing the set of the curl. If you don't cool down your brush before you pull the round brush out of that section after you're done blow drying that section, you are not locking in that shape. That's why it falls apart. You only have temporary, volume or fullness or movement or whatever, and then it ends up going flat in the face. So
I worked with this girl, speaking of this, who she had about 20 round brushes. And she would blow dry the section, leave the round brush in, grab another one. It was kind of like she was doing like a blow dryer mini roller set. She would let the whole section cool while she was doing this section, and then she would drop it. And I mean, amazing. It was so cool. I don't have the time nor the patience for that. But yes, and that's why you have a cold shot too on your blow dryer.
yeah.
Or like our friend William, who used to just flip the blow dryer around and pull the cool air through it. Remember when he did that? Everybody's head exploded.
Yeah, be mindful if you're going to do a showy thing like that. Make sure your filter is clean and the vents on your filter are tight. They're not wide spaced vents.
But with some of the newer blow dryers, you don't even have that option because the air intake is in the handle.
Well, not only that, some of the other blow dryers nowadays that the air intake is on the back, it has a protrusion, like it's the vent is in bed. Yeah, I'm trying to, like what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like, it's concave like this, but the vent isn't on the outside, it's on the inside. So you can't even get close enough to hit it to get that suction coming.
Right. And with the brushless motors now too.
I think they learned their lesson. I think too many people got their hair caught and stuff. And
I still remember, this was years and years ago. I get a call from the girls at the front desk. Hey, John, could you come up here? And I'm like, sure. And a mom had seen a video where the person did that, and she was blow drying her daughter's hair, and the girl's hair was like to here, and sucked it all the way up to her head.
That's awesome.
And the poor girl is standing there with this blow dryer like this, and they're like, what can we do? And aside from taking apart the blow dryer, which thank God I had a couple, I went to the toolbox in the salon, and we did unscrew the cowling so I could unwrap some of it. But by then, all those ends on that section were fried. This poor girl ended up, she's holding this blow dryer, she's holding the cord, and she ended up with a short haircut. She had to.
What
she would have this chunk.
Understand is that blow dryers heat up to a few hundred degrees, and that's why we're always saying you got to stay about 6 to 12 inches away. But most people put their blow dryer directly to their brush. That pushes the airflow back into the blow dryer, reheats that already heated air a second time, and then pushes that back out even hotter.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about, man, you can exceed 450 degrees very quickly.
Yeah.
I'm just using 450 because that's what most people know about a flat iron is 450 degrees is hot,
Right. I get that. So yeah. Little knowledge for us today. I like that. That. What's next on our agenda here, big guy?
Well, this is the last week we were talking about the new Stylist guide, and we were going over what do you call it? Oh God. we were talking about practicing good, skills, discounts, and mentorship. I think we were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. And seeking out a partnership or a mentorship,
Right.
So this week we got to talk about your work skills, your communication skills. We got to talk about
Soft
um,
skills.
soft skills. Yeah, staying healthy, man.
Okay.
It's something we freaking go on and on about all the time. And then potentially volunteering for advertising sake.
I like that. I like that. Well, should we just go in order? Let's go with the soft skills, your interpersonal skills. I mean, I think that's one of the most important things that we face. I still remember I'm a very young stylist. I just gotten out onto the floor and I was waiting for the busy bus to pull up. And I worked next to this guy who was a good hairdresser. He was a good hairdresser. His cutting skills were average at best, but he came from the school of I can take a D haircut, grade D haircut, and style it into an A. The guy was a great stylist. He was great with a blow dryer and awesome with a curling iron and all that. So anyway, but I'm sitting there and I was watching him, and you can't help as a human not comparing yourself and your skill set to someone else. And I was like, oh, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm a young me, cocky. I was arrogant as the day is long. Like that's changed. And I remember watching and going, what is he doing different than I do? Because I wanted to be busy. So I started watching him, and his interpersonal skills were amazing. He and he's the one that I learned this from. He had cards on every one of his clients, and he wrote down different things about his clients, not just what their color formula was, what their perm was, blah blah, but different things about them. And he would pull all his cards when he would come in first thing in the morning, and he would refresh himself on each client. And his conversational skills with them of, how was your, for sake of argument, how was your vacation to wherever, and that would get them going. And then it was funny to watch him be a master at this, of then moving into getting them to talk about their hair and talk about what their hair needed. And watching his conversational skills and his interpersonal skills was just fantastic. And with everybody else in the salon too. Everybody, he was great. The assistants. I mean, we all wanted to help him, because not only, did he take care of us on the back end, but also it was, thank you, please, I really appreciate you, things like that. It's those keywords, and he was always very friendly and always willing to help. And I think that you can't say enough about that. Because I've worked with some stylists that come in, they do their clients, they leave. They talk, they may talk with their clients and stuff, but there was no true interpersonal skills, no interaction. And how do you attract people? People come to see Eddie because of why?
The comedy show, not the skill. Because of the chaos,
Yeah. I mean, that's why you and I get along so well, because my clients come to see me. It's because of the insanity that goes on inside these four walls. And they're always entertained. They always want to know what's going on, and and we talk about them. And I do the same thing. Start the conversation personal. It's breaking down those barriers, because we actually do get to invade people's personal space. But then we move on to their hair, and we got to get them talking about their hair, what they're feeling, this, that, the other thing. That's huge. It's huge.
No, all jokes aside, that is huge, because I've seen it happen. The worst stylist, who I don't even understand how she got a license, was busier than the most talented stylist. And the most talented stylist had this mindset of peace and quiet during an appointment. This is a relaxation time. This is, like that trending thing, the quiet appointment. or the silent appointment, or whatever the hell it's called. But she did that blanket across the board to every single client, you know, and she had the what do they call it? RBF face, which I thought she was cute as hell, but other people were saying all the time, like, man, she's really got a, man, she's really, something's bothering her. She's not in a good mood, you know, like everybody was always, oh, she's not in a good mood. Sweetest girl in the world, sweetest woman in the absolute world, you know, and she was so talented. The problem is she just didn't talk, and she always had that was just her regular face. People judged her because they didn't know any better. They didn't know no different.
Right.
And then you got this one that sucks, and she just like a freaking chihuahua. She's and you know, she'd do redos. I think she was fully booked because she had so many redos, not because she was busy and had that many clients. Yet everybody loved her, and she was busy.
And part of that, and right along those lines with that, and your soft skills is you got to read the room. You got to read your client. And I have clients that come in, we talk about what they want, and then they're either reading something, or they're doing work on their laptop, and they don't want to talk. And you know what? That's okay. Then you know what? You don't. And then I have other clients
for another day.
That is, but you got to be able to style shift. You've got to be able to shift your energy for these people. And that's a soft skill. That's a soft skill, is being able to style shift. And, and then along those lines, if you don't feel good, you're not going to give your client that kind of energy that they want, either whatever end of the spectrum that is. If you're hurting, if you haven't been taking care of yourself, how can you take care of anybody else? And that's the key. And this job, and trust me, 35 years, this job will beat you up. You've got to take care of yourself from head to toe. And that means inside your head all the way to the outside and head to toe. You've got, get out. You can't be behind the chair all the time. You've got to take care of your headspace, and you've got to take care of yourself physically. And if something's ailing you, get it taken care of, because it's not going to go away. And especially standing still all day long and just doing this, your neck goes, your shoulders, your back, knees and ankles. It's very important to take care of yourself. And you know what? And you're the leading case of this, is you got to take some time off. You've got to do something for you. Because it'll only come back to visit you while you're working on your clients, where you'll have a renewed energy, you'll physically feel better. And you know what? Maybe you're not a workout person. I get that. But you know what? Go out and take a walk every day. You can get inspiration too while you're walking for different things that we do just from looking around. You got to clear the headspace, and you've got to clear your body space.
Stretch, man. Get those rubber bands and stretch, for the love of God. It doesn't matter until it matters. It doesn't matter until you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Learn to stretch.
Agreed. I agree.
Do not cheap out on shoes. If you want to cheap out on your outfit, that's fine. You want to buy cheap clothes, not a problem. You want to buy expensive clothes, not a problem. The one hard rule I have always stood by is your footwear. Do not cheap out on your footwear. Spend the money. Take care of your feet. Holy cow. Take care of your feet. All right. As far as health goes, look, man, I'm not one to talk. I live on freaking cookies and milkshakes. So I'm not one to talk about eating healthy, but you should, in moderation, balance it out. Okay. That is one thing that I do because a lot of people freak out all the time. I'm always talking about rice and pasta. I'm always talking about, milkshakes and cookies. I'm always talking about drinking tea and eat. I was just telling you yesterday, you're like, what are you chomping on? Oh, these tea biscuits. I've been living on tea biscuits as a meal. And that's the whole thing. I know if I'm eating something I shouldn't be, then I will not be having a proper meal. If I'm having a proper meal, then maybe I shouldn't have the whole sleeve. Maybe I should only have half the sleeve of cookie. Shouldn't even have half the sleeve, but that's my balancing it out. It's you gotta moderate your diet. You gotta take care of yourself physically, and then you can't forget about the trifecta. It's your mental. You have to meditate or cool down or wind down, however you want to call it, whatever you want to say it. Okay. You need 5 minutes alone. It's an amazing song. 5 minutes alone. Go look it up. If you know, you know. We are so overwhelmed by the constant bombardment of the day-to-day life interactions and stuff like that. It just makes you mental. And then, read. You should read. Audiobook, I don't care, but you should expand your knowledge base outside of what you know. And I'm not saying dive into maybe you do want to stay up on current event and listen to the news. I don't care about that part necessarily, but I'm saying just read articles about topics. If your client is mentioning something, spend 5-10 minutes reading about whatever your client was talking about. Expand your horizons a little bit. Don't just be, in this world and you don't know anything outside of that. So
I agree.
that would be the mental, or that would be taking care of yourself. Then outside of that, the only other thing that we can talk about would be the volunteering your services.
Big believer in it.
Promote yourself.
Big believer in it. Me personally, besides, I do a lot of donations to the schools around here for their silent auctions at the end of the year. What's a haircut to me? What is whatever my cost for a haircut is, but then I get the opportunity to expose myself to people that haven't seen me. You do one good haircut on someone that you're now exposing yourself to their circle. It's all about circles, if you really think about it, and intertwining those circles. I'm heavily involved. I donate a giant gift basket to the triathlon that happens in my town. I throw in a 20% off or 30% off coupon in there for hair color services. Get involved. I'm involved with our Chamber of Commerce. I go to the meetings all the time, and I do half the board now, just from going to the meetings. I'm heavily involved. I came from that though. The last guy that I worked for used to be heavily involved. We used to do the 4th of July parade. We'd be throwing candies to kids and coupons to the moms, and there's always something you could be doing to expose yourself to new people. I firmly believe in it. And really, what's 20% off? What's 30% off? You got to find out what works for you. I'm not saying give the house away. Okay. Don't give the salon away, but you can do a discounted service. If you don't want to give a free service, you can do a discounted service and give someone the opportunity to experience you, which then if it's a great experience, they're going to tell their friends. Their friends are going to see him and go, hey, I love your hair. Oh yeah, I just saw this new guy, Eddie, over here at this salon. How hard is that? It's not hard. It's not. And you can go so far as I have a good friend who gives haircuts at homeless shelters in Chicago. He brings his clippers and his tools, and I've done a couple of times with him. I've gone with my clippers and stuff, and it's really great. It's a good time, and you're really helping people out. We used to have a thing with the women's shelter at the old salon I was at, where women could come in and get their hair done if they're entering back into the workforce and things like that. Um, just get involved in your community. Get your face out there. People start seeing your face, find out what a great person you are. Because deep down inside, all of us hairdressers, we're actually really cool people, and people are like, "Oh wow," I just think I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great idea to be involved in your community.
It is important. That is the key word right there. It's the community. You are a business. You are representing yourself. You are representing the town that you decided to work. There is a reason why you chose the space you chose. You must like that area for a reason, or that area attracted you for a reason. You want that area to remain attractive to everybody else so they can come to see you too. So that's what we're talking about. That's why it's important to stay
Yep.
involved with
Yep.
with everybody all the way around. All right. Another thing you can do is, as a new stylist, to get started, to get busy, is offer unique services. Strand hair extensions,
Boom.
keratin smoothing treatments, scalp treatments, things that a lot of other stylists don't provide. Strand hair extensions, for example, there is a lot of reusable options now. And keratin bonds are still great. They're still the top tier. They are one-time use. That's a whole nother conversation in itself. Eventually, you want to get to that level. But to start off with, you could start off with reusable strands. And and I talk about this all the time. Depending on how many come in a pack, 1 or 2 packs can get you started, reasonable cost. You can fill in the front, get that face framing going, or get some volume or fullness right where people see. Don't focus on full head. Just focus on the current length that somebody has. Create volume, create fullness, create thickness, create movement, create layers, create a style. Too many people are focusing only on length. If you focus on the thing that everybody else isn't, you create your, how you say the word, niche.
Niche or niche.
I don't know. But you create yourself, you carve out that little part of the business, and that separates you from everybody else too. It's a great idea. It's a fantastic idea. And if the hair is reusable, then really that client is locked in. They got to come back in for maintenance, to maintain it, to move it back up, to change them out. And your overhead is a lot more reasonable and controllable, especially in the beginning when you're starting off and you don't have a lot of liquid asset to keep your business,
Right.
you're doing business running properly.
Right.
So that's my recommendation as far as services go.
I agree with you 100%. Me and my love affair with onstage extensions. And the strands have come in handy. I had a client, this was a few months back. She came in with her picture to her stylist, and the stylist gave her the style, but with the way her head shape and her hair was, it looked like she had dog ears right here. They were short. It was almost mulletish. Okay. So I could have put a weft in, but we talked, and I went in with, it was like 8 strands on each side, maybe 10 on each side, just to give her that cornerback. Now she's addicted. The hair's growing back in, and she's like, I'm never giving up these extensions. I love them. And I love the fact that, she comes in every 4 weeks, and we pull them out, and then we put them back in after we do her touch up. She loves it. She loves it, and she loves the volume that she gets with it. And I can't say enough about strand extensions. Strand extensions are so versatile, and they give you, your creativity is boundless with it. You know, in October, always, I get a pack of the pink extensions, or 2 packs, and we put them in for anybody who wants a pink extension for Breast Cancer Month. And and then I take the money that I make from that, and I donate it right to the one of the breast cancer foundations. And that's another great, just to back up a little bit, but it's another great way to get your name out there too. Because I went to Eddie, and he put this in my daughter, and and you offer a free removal for him. I mean, come on, it takes 2 seconds to and then take it out. It's another way, but strands are so versatile. Strands are really kind of like your Swiss Army knife of the hair extension world, because you can put them anywhere and you can build whatever you want. You know what? Strands are Legos. You can build anything you want with them.
And everything is awesome. They got the freaking best song.
It's a win-win. It really is. And whether you're using, I love the beaded strands, because it's just so much easier for me. I know, you love them too, but you are the keratin bond master. I've seen you do things with keratin bonds that blows my mind. But either way, especially with the on-stage ones, it's an inexpensive way to start into the hair extension realm, and you get the results with it. It's fantastic.
There's a place for everything.
100%. And strands are a win-win. They really are. And you take the time to get trained, and it's simple. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. Okay, because these are paws. These aren't. So, but yeah, I love them. I can't say enough about them. It is an easy go-to, and it is an easy money maker. Easy money. And then they're not, and especially if you're not doing a full head and you're just doing spot work with them too. I mean, it is an easy way to ease someone into, like I said, that lady now, she's like, I love hair extensions. I'm going to get these all the time, So, like I said, it's a win-win.
It really is. It really, really is. Be smart, though. When you start doing these services, just because you're making whatever profit margin that you're making, don't go spend it. Save half your margin and reinvest. Okay. That's the one unfortunate thing that I see is people start getting into hair extensions. They start making, good money off of doing it, because now they're starting to get consistently busy. It's not that by default you're just going to make, there isn't, like, everybody thinks there's this massive markup because they're so expensive. It's not that there's a massive markup. It's just that it's so labor intensive.
Mm-hmm.
That's the overhead. Majority of the overhead is the cost of the hair extensions themselves. The rest of the overhead really is in the labor putting it in. And you got to look at your production per hour, and I'm not saying charge by the hour. That's a whole different other thing.
That's a subject for another.
That's a whole other subject for another day. But the reinvest in yourself and in your future and in your business. So those are all the tips that'll conclude part 4 of our new stylist guide. So this became a 4-part series.
Yeah.
Just going over everything. But those are really all the tips, tricks, advices, pains and sufferings and successes that we have gotten over the years, between the two of us that we can share with everybody.
And I just want to echo on a fact that something that you just brought up, and it's a big problem for a lot of people, stylists in our industry, especially the young ones, because the money comes quick and fast, and you have to reinvest in your profession, in your skill set, but also you have to look to the future. And you should be taking, once again, this is a subject for another podcast, but you should take a percentage of whatever you make every week and put it off to the side, because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. And I have a good friend, and she became allergic to hair color.
Eesh.
And she didn't know what she was going to do. And she was making a lot of money. She was a really great colorist. And she was making money fast and loose, but she was spending it as fast as she made it. And now, unfortunately, she's working in a hospital, making hourly. You got to look to the future. You got to save for your future. And, eventually there's going to come the day when you're like, I'm only going to work 2 days a week, but you still got to live. You still got to put food on the table. You still got to, whatever, put it aside, put a little bit aside, a little bit turns into a lot of bit, but that's a subject for another day. Yeah, definitely invest in yourself too. Education. No one can, once you learn something, no one can ever take it away from you.
Ain't that the truth?
So I have our motivation for this week, and you inspired this motivation about 6 or 7 years ago. And I have a quote, and it's an Eddie quote, which still rings in my head in a lot of things.
Should we put the NSFW warning up, the adult content?
Actually, no. There was no foul words in this statement that you made.
Are you sure it was me?
I know it was you. I know it was you because you were in one of your famous tirades, and Eddie tirades are something you got to be there to really experience.
No.
But here's the quote for the week for you guys, okay? Good is not good enough.
I hate you.
Good is not good enough. And no, but I mean it, because I find this very motivating, because there's always room to improve. If you think something's good, it could be better. And so when I approach something now these days, and especially behind the chair and in my business, and I go, oh, that's good. And then I go, well, but wait, how can I make it better? And that's my motivation I can always move it up a notch. I can always turn the dial a little more, whatever visualization you want to put to it. But good is not good enough. Good is good, but how do we get to great? How do you get to great? How do you get to exceptional? Whatever that next step is for you in here, good is not good enough, guys. And I love that saying, and you coined it. I know you were in a rage when you coined it, but it just made so much sense to me. And actually, I don't have the binder here. We talk about my binder because I'm a psycho. But in there, it's written on the inside cover in black Sharpie. Good is not good enough, because good isn't good enough. If you're good, you could be better. And that's what I take that as. So you could expand on that if you'd like. And we don't have to, I don't want to get into the situation where that came from, but what a great quote, and something that anybody can carry with them.
You just love to push.
How am I pushing buttons? I'm giving you a compliment.
There is a mindset. So there's two opposing mindsets. Some people say, I'm a perfectionist. And I think it's the most crippling mindset to have. That is my opinion. I know I'm probably going to piss somebody off right now that's going to be listening to me, but this is just my personal opinion. I have no fact to back anything up what I'm saying, okay? to say I'm a perfectionist and then you just get stuck on that one thing that you're doing and then you can't move forward with anything else. You lose so much time. You lose so much time. You ignore so many other things. There's the one opposing mindset. The opposite end of that is outright, God bless it, laziness. And you're like, it's fine. You know, it's good enough. It's done. We'll just throw it out there. And it's just some half-baked, half-cracked idea that it's not even a complete thought. And you're just throwing it out there because like the spaghetti, right? You throw it to the wall, see if it's thick. It's two such extreme mentalities. So where is it in the middle? So somewhere in the middle is the right answer. That's what it should be. It's all comes down to time. How much time are you willing to invest in yourself or in the thing that you're doing to get good, to be better, to become great? That's really what that is. That's what good is not good enough is about, you know, is finding the balance. Because yeah, if it was good, okay, then it obviously worked, but it's such a 50-50 mentality. And if you're not all in, if you just don't care enough, or if you care so much that you can't get past that first hurdle, you're never going to be part of that race. You're never going to be on time to get to the next thing. You're always just going to be sit there spinning your wheels like being stuck in the mud in Alabama. Yeah, I just watched my cousin Vinny. You never.
What's a you?
You know. You're never going to get anywhere.
Right.
And that's the unfortunate thing about it.
Right.
You should have pride. There's nothing wrong with that. You should be proud of yourself. You should be wanting to do more and be more and get more and have more and everything else too. I'm all for that. 100% I'm all for that. So yeah, that's what good is not good enough means. Okay. What's one thing you do every day or every week that tries to get you out of that mentality or to that mentality?
It's a daily thing for me. It is a daily thing for me. When I look at something, and it doesn't matter what it is, you have a choice. I can do the minimum and get by, or I can do it correctly and maybe take it to the next level a little better. I'll take it. I'll give you for instance. Okay. So for the longest time, I would do my books once a week for the shop. I would do my books once a week. I would spend 2.5 hours on a Sunday afternoon going through everything. And it was good. It was good. But then I went, I gotta get a better system in place here. And once again, I'm wasting 2.5 hours of a day when I realize that I can come home, spend 25 minutes going through my books for the day, making sure everything is done. And that leaves me more time on the back end, and everything's still fresh in my mind from things where it's just done. And that actually has worked better and for me personally, and it's kept me on track for everything, because as a human, we're lazy. And I went through a phase where for a month I had so much going on that I didn't do my books, which turned into a nightmare. I'm not going to lie to you. I screwed up. My own laziness got me. So that's I'll give you that. That's just an instant, for instance. But even with a client sitting in my chair, and we can get away with doing a partial, but she really should have a full foil. A partial would be good, but a full foil will be great because it there's two different animals there, right? And when they're like, oh, just do whatever you think is you want to do, or I've worked with people who have talked clients out of a full foil. Oh, we can just put a couple around your face. It'll get you by. There's so much wrong with that. And once again, yeah, that's good. It'll be good. But when they're coming and paying us to do something for them, and then especially with their image, don't you want their image to be great? Because that's going to bring more attention to you and your work. So good is not good enough when it comes to something like that. Or, oh yeah, just I'm just in for a cut today. I don't need you to style it, or I have a blow dry station too for my clients that want to come and go, and they'll be like, I'm gonna leave wet. That's okay. That's good. It's a good haircut she got. That, but you don't want her walking out your door with stringy wet hair. At least here, come over here to the blow dry station. Here, use this product in her hair. And that's a good situation. A great situation is, oh, you know what? Let me at least give you a quick rough dry, so at least you leave somewhat put together. Does that make sense?
100%. Absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, good is, and so a lot of times good is not, 90% of the time, good is not good enough. End of story. Now a cheeseburger, that's a different story. A good cheeseburger is a good cheeseburger.
But it could be great.
It could be great. It could be great. Yes, sir. But yeah. So guys, in closing with this week, we've got a little sideways on you a little bit, but good is definitely not good enough. And you can say Eddie coined that phrase. I'm going to get t-shirts made. But with that being said, guys, if you like what we do and you watch us every week and you appreciate us, go to htbbeauty.com. That really helps us a lot with knowing that we're getting through to you and we're helping you make great decisions for your products, for your salon, and for your behind the chair. And we invite you guys to really make a difference one client at a time. And we thank you guys. We'll be back next week with our preview for our upcoming class.
Pre-show. Yeah, next week.
Pre-show. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That's right. Go out there and make a difference, one client at a time.
The SFTB podcast was not recorded in front of a live studio audience, so thanks for joining us for today's episode. If our hair topics made you smile, give us a thumbs up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll read them while waiting for our caller to process. Share this video with your stylists and friends. It helps us make a difference, one strand at a time. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Because your hair deserves all the latest and greatest tips.